Okay, so hey guys, and welcome to the latest part in the F1 Manager Minardi Manager series, where we're going to be here for the Monaco Grand Prix, which I'm sure everyone's looking forward to. And the weird thing is that the Monaco Grand Prix isn't actually one of the more interesting ones in this game, but you never know, we might get a half interesting race this time, but that's in 2 weeks time, so let's see any news that comes in. Okay, so we have got some news. Interesting stuff. Ferrari confirmed Rory Byrne as their chief designer. So Rory Byrne was with Ferrari in 1999. Then he went to Jordan, and now he's going back to Ferrari, which is a bit of a worry because Ferrari, I reckon, next year are going to be our main rivals. If not, Jordan will be, I reckon. But this is going to help out Ferrari next year, and obviously next year, Jordan are going to have a Rory Byrne chassis, as he is with them at the minute. Whereas Ferrari at the minute only have Nick Wirth as their designer, so I don't know how good their chassis will be next year, but not as good. But they're going to have good aero parts developed over the course of the next year, which is a worry, to be honest, actually, for us. But, oh well, what can you do? And Ferrari confirmed Ian Phillips. I'm pretty certain he was Jordan's commercial manager. Actually, was he with Jordan? What, is he with Jordan this year? No, actually, he's with Stewart this year, so Ferrari are doing alright. So they got the joint best chief designer, one of the best commercial managers. They're doing alright so far, or at least next year it looks like they'll be doing fine. And Arrows, I can't believe their luck, have got Jean Alesi next year, and I'm pretty certain Jean Alesi retired in real life in 2001. So, I don't know, wants to retire in a... I don't know what he's planning, because he's been at or near the top of the sport for years, and now he's just thought, screw it, in my last year, I'll go to Arrows. Whatever. Well, anyway, Arrows, they're doing very well to have Jean Alesi as a driver. They are very, 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 very lucky. Like, I can't express how lucky they are to have a driver like Jean Alesi in their team next year. So yeah, that's brilliant, which means Pedro De La Rosa is being replaced. And obviously, well, I mean, unless they make Pedro De La Rosa their driver number 2, which is always possible, with Arrows, and, they may just keep Marc Genet, because Marc Genet, at the minute, seems to have outperformed Pedro De La Rosa. And now this has taken a while to load, so I'm guessing it's lots of sponsor news that's coming up. It does take its time, to be honest. Oh, this is probably just my laptop being crap, to be honest. Yep, sponsor news. Yep, anything interesting. Is there anything else other than sponsor news is what I'm looking for. New components deal for Sauber. Okay, Sauber, Petronas Engines, obviously. It's in their name, Petronas Engines. So, it'd be a bit weird if they got rid of them, but they're keeping with them. But I don't really see how Sauber could progress up the field, because I don't remember Sauber doing anything interesting. Apart from, they have, well, obviously they did sign Minardi for this year, but I think apart from that, they haven't done a single interesting thing this series. So yeah, there you go. And yeah, I'll cut until any more news comes in. Okay, so we have got some confirmed news, a statement from Williams. I dread to think what this could be. They're retaining Ralf Schumacher as their driver number 2. And to me, as Ralf Schumacher, as much as I do take the piss out of him for always retiring in that, he is a fairly solid driver number 2, to be honest. So, I mean, what could I say? I mean, I don't know who else they could really get who's a better driver number 2, to be honest. And anyway, it's really their driver number 1 that we're more interested in, whether they keep Takaki or not. Personally, if I was Frank Williams, I wouldn't, but that's not my decision to make. We'll see what Frank does. And yeah, see if any more news comes in. Yep, Arrows are on the move. Arrows confirmed Mark Smith as their chief designer. Started out at Jordan, and we can see how well Jordan are doing at the minute. Probably, well, I say it's got to be down to their chassis, because they haven't got a decent engine, so Arrows, obviously they won't get the Mark Smith chassis next year, but they will get Mark Smith aero parts. So Arrows look like they might be going places. Also with Jean Alesi and Mark Smith, they might be going places. And statement from Arrows, retaining Marc Genet as their driver number 2. So obviously Marc Genet has outperformed De La Rosa, and that's why Arrows are going to have Jean Alesi and Genet next year. So not a bad pairing, I suppose, to be honest. I mean, you've seen Genet. I mean, Genet wasn't too amazing for us. He did throw away points chances in his time with us, but he's doing alright at Arrows, to be fair. And Luca Perez still for Williams. AP brakes, so the joint best for them. And now, any more news? I'm not even going to bother cutting away now. We don't need to, really. So just some rumours there. Schumacher rumoured to go with Ferrari. Well, yeah, so Michael Schumacher is rumoured to go to staying with them. Would be weird if he moved, to be honest. Just no, it'd be weird if he moved. There's no reason why he would. New components deal for Prost. Tag Electronics, so nothing amazing there. And Benetton, Brembo brakes, so the worst they could get, so pretty poor choice of them. And you see, as I say, there's no point me cutting away because, yeah, look, Benetton confirms Jim Wright as their commercial manager, so it's another mediocre move really for Benetton. They haven't done anything amazing like when the Arrows. Well, Arrows this episode have already done pretty groundbreaking stuff. And there's just lots of other teams who have done nothing. Although Ferrari have done something. Michael Schumacher's driver number 1, no surprise there. So we are going to have to put up with the threat of Michael Schumacher at Ferrari next year, which is a big threat. Although, think about it, they're not going to have the benefit of a Rory Byrne chassis next year. Because obviously their chief designer this year is Nick Worth, so the chassis is not going to be as good next year, so I suppose we have got that to our advantage. Whereas our chassis, obviously being designed by Neil Oatley, will be better than theirs, so we've got a advantage over them. And as I say, there's no point in me cutting away really, there's always news. Yep, as I say, BAR, Vistin Electronics, again, not the best, nothing amazing. And why they don't just get Magneti Marellis like we have, I have no idea. Just a couple of rumours. Alexander Wurz at Benetton. That would Benetton. I mean, who have they got at the minute? They got Jean Alesi, obviously, who's going to Arrows, and David Coulthard. And you know they've got a decent driver lineup this year, and they're going down to Alexander Wurz. Not to say Wurz is bad, but they need some good signings really to propel them up to where Benetton used to be, and they're just not doing that at the minute. They're just really under-delivering on the signings for next year. And Jarno Trulli to Jordan. Obviously, Jordan have got some decent drivers for this year, so was it Frentzen and Barrichello. Both are very good drivers, but equally Jarno Trulli is also a very good driver, to be honest, so it's not really a step forward. I suppose it's more of a sideways step for Jordan, but that's assuming they do sign him. And there you go, so we just got weekly reports, get rid of them, because they're filling up my emails, yada yada yada. Yep, and we're at Monte Carlo for the Monaco Grand Prix, and obviously last year we got some surprises with Arrows and their pace. Well, not in the race, but in qualifying and practice, Arrows are just way above their punching way above their weight. I think that was because Takaki got a couple of points in Imola the race before, and that boosted them. I have no idea what caused it. Plus also, Hakkinen really underperformed that race. We actually overtook him at the start of the race. And Damon Hill actually qualified last year, so bit of a worry. But I'm sure, Damon Hill in the Minardi, I'm sure he will do better than he did last year. But let's see with either practice news or qualifying report. Let's see how that goes. Okay, so here's the practice results, and basically, I'm terrified. I can't quite remember where we qualified last year at Monaco, but I'm pretty certain it was better than this. In fact, it must have been, but Damon Hill, well, this is only practice, not qualifying, but Damon Hill's taken up his last position again. Salo's nowhere, we're ahead of no one but Takaki, and Arrows are punching above their weight again, so really, I don't think this is going to be a fruitful week for us at Minardi, to be honest, but obviously these lap times from our drivers were set on hold position. Normally, come qualifying we set laps on push and risk everything, so hopefully we should move up the order, but yeah, I mean, take that as you will, and yeah, we'll take you on to the qualifying report now. Alright, hey guys, I just want to say, I found out where we lost time. Basically, yeah, basically, we lost time because, well, look, okay, so here's Damon Hill's laps in qualifying. So, first lap, 141, that's just his out lap. That's a lap on hold position. That's a lap on hold position. That lap's on push. That lap's, I think that lap is kind of half on push, half on risk everything. That's on risk everything, okay? Look at lap 7. Now, here's the thing. Lap 7 is a risk everything lap, but it's his in lap. It's when he comes into the pits. And for some reason, they were 4 seconds a lap. Obviously, with the layout of Monaco, you kind of miss the last corner when you come into the pits, but how, I don't see how that can, that can't be a lap time. That can't be a valid lap time. And I think I speculated last year, but I think I kind of said it in a jokey way that, oh, I think Arrows found a cheat because, you know, they were quicker on their in laps, but genuinely I think it's true. Look, Salo, so out lap, hold position, push, risk everything, risk everything in lap. So I found 4 seconds just from doing an in lap. So yeah, I mean, now I think once I found out, because if you look at the setup, perfect setup from Damon, perfect setup from Mika. It's madness, but yeah, now I'll take you on to the qualifying report. The hour-long qualifying session around the streets of Monaco has just ended, and there are some pretty interesting results, so let's just go through them. The pole sitter this race is the same man who's the pole sitter last race. It's Michael Schumacher, and he's retaining his form of getting pole position every race this season, and he does it quite comfortably ahead of another former world champion in the form of Jacques Villeneuve in the BAR. And now Jacques Villeneuve, he showed bursts of promise this season, but really Jacques Villeneuve in the BAR is showing true promise from BAR and him as a driver, so really BAR might actually be developing and progressing in comparison to their rivals this season. The future Arrows driver Jean Alesi is in third in the Benetton, which is a very good performance for the Benetton team, with Giancarlo Fisichella fourth in the number 1 McLaren. Arrows for the first time ever are able to get into the top 6 in qualifying. In fact, actually Pedro de la Rosa got 5th in qualifying in the Arrows, which is blistering performance from a team which has been consistently at the back of the field from start probably to the finish for this season. And famously last year Takaki qualified 7th in the Arrows and Pedro de la Rosa qualified 8th in the Arrows, but with Arrows progressing and de la Rosa being in 5th this year, Arrows seem to have pulled off an amazing job once again. And David Coulthard in the other Benetton qualified 6th, a few places behind his teammate, but it's still a very good performance for the Benetton team. Marc Genet qualified 7th, which is by far and away the best qualifying result of his career in Formula 1, with Laurent Redon putting in a good performance for, I believe, the first time this season as he qualifies in 8th. Both Jordans of Barrichello and Frentzen line at 9th and 10th, with Johnny Herbert in the other McLaren are way off of his teammate this season 11th. Mika Salo is 12th in the Minardi, and they were able to improve on their woeful practice pace, as there seems to be an issue with the timing screens. That means that an in-lap is actually quicker than a flying lap, and once Minardi were able to utilise that, they were able to gain positions on where they should be, and so Mika Salo got 12th. Just ahead of the dominant Ferrari, although with the not so dominant driver, but just ahead of the dominant Ferrari car driven by Neil McEwen, with Damon Hill in 14th. Eddie Irvine and the Stewarts 15th, with both Prost, Diniz and Zonta 16th and 17th. Ralf Schumacher has an awful qualifying result and is actually 1 place lower than his qualifying result last year, as this year is in 18th. Zanardi in the Sauber is 19th, with Jarno Trulli in the second Stewart way down in 20th. Ducati, despite moving up to what many consider a better car in the Williams, actually qualifies 14 positions lower than he did last year, which seems atrocious, although the fact that his teammates qualified only a few places higher up means that the Williams just isn't suited to this track. Although a car that is even less suited to this track is the Sauber, as Alexander Wurz lines up in last. Okay, so, hey guys, so just before the race starts, there's a few things I really need to get into. And I know this season we've had issues with not having aero parts being manufactured in time. Well, this year, no, not this year, this race rather, we've got engine issues because Mercedes-Benz engines, while they're brilliant, they send you enough, but not an abundance of them. And as you can see, we've only got one third model engine. And I don't really want to sabotage someone's race. I'm kind of keen to have equal drivers. I genuinely want the drivers to be battling out together. Basically, I'm encouraging a spectacle in Formula 1. So basically, I'm going to have both of our drivers have the second model of engine, which is 2 horsepower and 2 rating worse. But I don't want to give a driver an unfair advantage. Plus, also, at this track, we know engine power is kind of irrelevant. So I'm going to give both drivers the second model of engine. We may use that remaining third model in a race later on this season, but I really don't see when we would use it. Because yeah, we got plenty of second model and first model engines, but only one more third model. So hopefully they'll send us the fourth model, which is the final one, soon, because we kind of need it. And unlike electronics and brakes, we've got tons of them, so we're fine for them. We're not going to run out of engines. We're not going to be in a situation that Arrows are. It's just a case of we're not going to be able to use the best engines we were given, and that's basically how it's going to work. Oh no, that's the third car. I was about to say, what's going on there? What's going on here? Oh right, okay. I'm confusing myself here. Yeah. So, Mercedes engines to us, there are some downsides to them. Obviously, they produce brilliant engines, but downside is they don't send you in abundance, which is weird because we're their only customer team. I'm surprised they can't just make loads for us, but I suppose that's the way it goes. And now, strategy, fuel strategy, one-stop strategy around Monaco, and now, I know this is a bit of backtracking, but I got a comment from, well, basically, what I've done is I've recorded these episodes in advance, like I pre-recorded loads, up to the last episode. So as I'm recording this, the Silverstone episode only just came out, and I was reading the comments from that, and we got a comment from Adam Smith, which you'll see on screen, saying he knows why Mike Gascoigne is over-fueling the cars, which he has done in San Marino, and as I pointed out, in Silverstone at least. He's done it in at least those 2 races, and he says because he's sabotaging Minardi to benefit Jordan, and that's possibly why possibly why Damon Hill was overtaken by both Jordans at San Marino, because Mike Gascoigne may be overfilling the car on purpose. That's speculation. I really would like to think that that Mike Gascoigne wouldn't be doing that to us. I really would like to think that, but it is a valid point from Adam Smith, to be honest. So there you go. And the second point is that another comment from the Silverstone Grand Prix is that Reviews TIJ said that technical directors, apparently all technical directors, always overfill your car. It might not. See, Mike Gascoigne might not be sabotaging us. It might just be a flaw in the game, to be honest. But yeah, he says he always calculates it out himself. And I think I was thinking about doing this in the Austrian Grand Prix last year, and I think I just gave up on it. But I got an A star in maths, GCSE. I should be able to do this. So, maths. So, oh, hang on. If Damon Hill, so yeah, Mick Solo's pinging on lap 40. So let's work this out. So, Damon Hill, so he does an average of 0.59 litres a lap. So here's a maths lesson for you guys. You want to do this, just do. So he's going to pit on lap 39. So 39 divided by 0.59. We'll round that to 0.6 just to give him a bit of leeway. What have I done? Yeah, that seems more like it. Yeah, what was it? Okay, I did 39 divided by 0.59. Yeah, it's 39 times 0.59. Well, I did times 0.6 just to give it a bit of leeway. That comes out as 23.4 litres. We'll put in 24 litres just to be safe. And since it's a halfway thing, another 24 litres. Which obviously, round the track like Monaco, every little helps really. Mika Salo will put in 25 litres again just to be safe, and 24. So yeah, Reviews TIJ says he does that for every race. He actually calculates his own fuel that he needs in. Because apparently it's something that technical directors always do in this game. So I might just try and do that now from every episode onwards. And that's a sight we're used to seeing from the last episode. Obviously a McLaren lineup just beside us. And here we go. Michael Schumacher is already flying up the hill, and really, it says he's 14th. Obviously, it's a load of rubbish, but he's way ahead of us. Obviously, you kind of get a concertina effect at Monaco, where basically, obviously, it's always better to be at the front because you don't get held up by everyone else. But at Monaco, that effect is really more profound, especially at like the Lowe's hairpin, which we are coming up to in just a second. And both Jordans are ahead of us. Yep. Well, they qualify. Look at this logjam effect. See, if this was F1 2014, the game, obviously the game F1 2014, any F1 game really, we all know most people, you just dive it down the inside, probably lose your front wing, and that's just how it goes. But obviously AI in any game aren't intelligent enough to do that. So, speaking of which, Marc Genet is intelligent enough to qualify 7th, but he can't even keep up to the guy in 6th. I don't know who that is in 6th. It's David Coulthard, actually. Well, David Coulthard is a very highly skilled driver, obviously. I don't think I'll have much trouble pulling away from Marc Genet in the Arrows, but overtaking De La Rosa in the Arrows, that's another matter. Because obviously overtaking, as we've seen many a time around Monaco, is near impossible, to be honest. Yeah, it's I don't know, I was going to say something then, and I decided not to. And I'll just sound like an idiot by just going, But I gotta think of something else to say. Prost. Talk about them. Let's talk about them. They're doing terribly. Obviously, they actually scored some points. Was it last race that they scored their maiden points? I believe it was. So Prost have finally scored points this series. Obviously, that's a feat every other team had done before them. But they finally scored points this series. So well done to them. Obviously, Arrows haven't scored any this season. Look how far ahead Schumacher is ahead of Villeneuve. Wow. And we haven't seen or heard much from our guys. I told our guys to go and push. Haven't heard anything from them. Obviously, we weren't doing anything interesting, but I'll keep on push. And Reviews TIJ, he's an active commenter on my videos. He said about, he calculates his own fuel usage, which is a good suggestion, but something he also said is not to be cautious, too cautious with your drivers. Obviously, he puts them on push, and he says a driver error. It doesn't matter having a driver error every once in a while because you make up for it. Obviously, Salo got up from about 12th to 2nd. He's not going to get past Schumacher, but let's put him. He's 6 seconds ahead of Villeneuve. Put him down to old position. Where's Damon? You see, we saw a couple of races ago, I believe. You see, problem is I pre-record these episodes so far in advance. I can't remember what happened when, but Damon Hill, I know he had a driver error, and I don't really want to force that again. So I'm just going to leave him on push. And Mika Salo is pulling away from, well, he was pulling away from Villeneuve, but now Villeneuve turns out is terrible, and is, well, Fisichella's got past him. We're actually seeing true pace from McLaren, and that means that now Solo's been caught up by Fisichella. At the same time, Damon Hill's been caught up by Herbert. So, yeah, we'll just keep on that. To be honest, I know he said don't. I know if he's tied J, he said don't be too cautious. But really, round Monaco, I really don't want to press it. I'll try and hold off third. I'll try and see if we can stay ahead of David Coulthard, and it looks like we're just naturally on pace. Roughly the same as him, maybe a bit slower. Damon Hill is down in 8th, down in 9th. Okay, Damon Hill, we're going to have to tell him to push. And, okay, look at that. That is a clusterfuck of cars right there. Absolute. And now he's got to get past the number 5 of Takaki, that'll be. So Takaki's now got to get out of his way, because obviously we are lapping Takaki. Where's Takaki, actually? 20th. Where's Ralf Schumacher? 12th. Damon Hill, I did tell him to push, didn't I? Yeah, it's just, okay. Obviously, 11, I hope I haven't miscalculated that. Well, I did give a bit of leeway. I gave one lap's leeway. Now, David Coulthard, actually, I've just noticed, is catch up to Mika Salo. And even though overtaking is difficult around, what have I done? I keep on thinking Salo's the driver number 1. To be honest, he's performing like he is. Just push, just push. Hang on, was I telling Salo to push? I promise I keep on thinking Mika Salo is the driver number 1. Okay, so Salo's on push, but yeah, he's lost the position. Any points, from my point of view, any points is good for us right now. Mika Salo's now regained the position on David Coulthard. I'm thinking, do I just keep on pushing the rest of the race? Nah, that would be pushing our luck, if you don't mind the pun there. Mika Salo, yeah, Damon Hill will just keep on pushing until he actually gets in the top 6. Where is he? He's just behind Eddie Irvine. Okay, so he's threatening an overtake. And he's got past Irvine. Villeneuve's just holding on to the points now. This is, I'm micromanaging like mad here. Screw it, we'll just tell both drivers to push. Review IJ said, don't be too cautious. We're just going to throw caution to the fucking wind right now. And we're just going to just fucking go like, I'm just going to swear, because, you know, that's what I do when I'm in business. We're just going to throw caution to the wind and just bloody go for it. And Eddie Irvine is the first casualty from this race. Obviously, Damon Hill struggled to get past him, and Villeneuve's out of a driver error. That's promoted both of our drivers into the points. I know I said I was going to throw caution to the wind. I don't really fancy doing that anymore. No, let's just tell both of our drivers. Well, I mean, worst comes to worst, Damon Hill can just hold up any drivers behind from for Salo. It's not a bad idea, but I don't really want to sabotage Damon Hill's race. I'm going to treat both of our drivers equally. Salo on hold position has got past Lacey. Minardi have a driver error. And now obviously, see, Frentzen cannot get past us. I was about to say, the second that we actually have our own fuel strategy and don't listen to Mike Gascoigne, who has speculated is sabotaging us on purpose. I mean, I don't believe he is, but the second we don't listen to him, we're in a double points position here. 4th and 5th. Okie dokie is Damon Hill. Yeah, Damon Hill's actually caught to Salo. So Damon Hill does have comparable pace to Salo just when he wants to. And top 3's out of the equation. Unless we get a retirement from someone ahead of us, top 3 is out of the equation right now. Yeah, Lacey, okie dokie. We need Damon Hill on push. Yeah, Lacey is kind of threatening a move on Salo right now. Oh, I could just keep on push. Screw it. You know what? What happened to Lacey? Where's he gone? We got past both of us. Damon Hill's got past Salo. Okay. I want to treat both of our drivers equally. So Damon, the nearest driver's quite a way off of Salo. So now we'll just tell both drivers to hold position. Fisichella have a driver error. That's not the first time we've seen that this season, which is, I don't know whether that car from McLaren is just an absolute dog to drive, but Fisichella and Johnny Herbert, two good drivers, having trouble with that car. I mean, Johnny Herbert's in the points, and actually he was threatening to take the race win in Imola until he retired right near the end. And 4th and 5th, I'll take 4th and 5th. Obviously, Benetton and go out to score some points. Salo out of the points positions. Okay. Yeah, we've got what's going on. Rascasse, there's some stuff going on at Rascasse. Damon Hill, so Johnny, okay. Well, let's just tell both of our drivers to push for the last 8 laps and see what the hell happens. Barrichello have a bargeable failure. Both our drivers in the top 6. Can we? Hopefully we can both get past Herbert. Now, both of our drivers are on push, aren't they? Pretty certain they are. Ralf Schumacher's got past Damon Hill, so Ralf Schumacher. I mean, where did he qualify? Way down, and now he's finally actually getting somewhere. Although I say that, he's just dropped down to 8th. Francis got past us, Herbert's got past us. Sarlo's dropped out of the points positions right at the end of the race. What's happened here? Okay, I think the game's messed up. Frentzen retired on the second to last lap, even though he's ahead of us with a driver error. Ralf Schumacher's got an asterisk next to his name. Normally an asterisk means that he's our driver, but he's not. What happened there? We finished on the... Well, he finished 1.2 seconds behind Sarlo. No idea why Ralf Schumacher's got an asterisk next to his number of laps. Don't know, knowing him, he probably did something controversial, but 5th and 6th, that's not a bad performance from us, obviously telling our drivers to push for probably like half the race. Actually did pay dividends, much like it did in Silverstone. Johnny Herbert gets some decent points for McLaren. Obviously, I kind of don't like to see McLaren not doing well. Benetton gets to score some very decent points for Benetton. Alesi and Coulthard score some decent points for Benetton, and Schumacher again wins. He's won the Drivers' Championship already. So, recap: Schumacher first, Coulthard second, Alesi third, Herbert 4th, Hill 5th, Sarlo 6th. Actually, Hill outraced Sarlo for, it's not often happened. Ralf Schumacher just misses out on the points. Neil McEwen has a dreadful performance. He's down in 11th. De La Rosa 12th. Takaki finishes dreadfully, actually, down 13th. And saying his teammate literally by seconds missed out on points. It's quite shocking for Takaki. He's literally ahead of... Well, the only runner he's ahead of is Genet. And he's actually behind his ex-teammates, so that's quite appalling from Takaki there. And overall, actually, I think I said Monaco isn't normally that interesting of a race on this game. Well, I take it back, because that actually wasn't too bad of a race, to be fair. And, okay, so anything... And obviously, actually, I've just remembered, obviously, we were using the second model of engines there. Yeah, we weren't using our most advanced engine technology, obviously. We couldn't until Mercedes sent us their 4th model of engines. We can't do anything about that. And Jordan have the most advanced front and rear wings. Yeah, we're slowly losing out in the tech race. Jordan are inevitably going to win that. And we got a further 900 grand prize money from the FIA. We keep on getting 900 grand prize money. What do I want to click on? Here, next race. Canada, Circuit de Villeneuve. At the time of recording this, that race literally... the 2015 race literally just ended there, so... Actually, no, the 2015 race just ended there. What am I talking about? And obviously, actually, some other comparisons to make there. Monaco, both Williams didn't do that well, which is actually pretty similar to 2015. So, there you go. I've just drawn some more comparisons there. Driver standing, Schumacher's dominating. Coulthard is actually putting up a decent fight there. Coulthard's... Even though he's switched teams from McLaren, he's actually still about where he was in the driver standings, even though he's changed teams, which is very impressive. Obviously, got out of the sinking ship and has gone to Benetton. I mean, they're not doing anything amazing, but they're just doing good stuff and doing it consistently and doing it well. And Hill is now, he's level with Alesi and Villeneuve. That is a pretty elite league there of drivers there. Alesi, Hill and Villeneuve, wow. 2 world champions and 1 legend in the sport. And now where are we? 4th in the constructors, okay. The top 3 are kind of running away with it, so obviously we only need to get 6th to satisfy the board. And it looks like we should get that, at least. I'd settle for 4th. Obviously, and Ferrari are running away with it. Where's McLaren? McLaren, I tipped them to win the constructors. See, now I reckon Benetton or Jordan might actually get it. Unless Ferrari, the one-man team of Ferrari, takes constructors. Actually, where did Neil McEwen... Neil McEwen scored 2 points this season, so it's basically a one-man team. our Ferrari manager rating. Rocco Benetton's ahead of us, which I think that's good, to be honest. Rocco Benetton, well, Benetton, the Benetton team really are doing amazing. Obviously, double podium there. David Coulthard second in the drivers. Doing very well, actually, Benetton are as a team. So, I think he deserves the credit there. Jean Todt first. Anything else too interesting? I don't think so. Ron Dennis, the worst manager, which... Obviously, team that won the Drivers' and Constructors' Championship last year to a team which really can't do anything. And where then? Constructors 5th. Yeah, I mean, the giants of McLaren and Williams, what happened there? The only original giant that's still standing is Ferrari. And also, something else in that race I literally just thought of. Obviously, we got 5th and 6th. The one race that we don't have Mike Gascoigne deciding our fuel strategy is the one race where we actually perform really decently, you know, in comparison to our qualifying results. So there you go. And I believe, yeah, that's everything for this episode. So next episode, around my favourite track on the F1 calendar, Circuit de Villeneuve. Brilliant track. The 2015 race that literally just went, well, at the time of recording this, obviously at the time this comes out, I think the British Grand Prix might have just happened by then, actually. But, time of recording this, race wasn't too interesting, but hopefully we can have an interesting race here, and if it throws up some surprises, especially in our favour, I'll be ecstatic with that. And yep, so I'll see you guys for that episode. Well, yeah, I'll see you guys for that race next episode. So I'll see you guys then.